Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, there's been some interesting things going on around the folks over at Tesla over the past week or so. Now, here's a little hit into my past. I've talked about it on this show before, but I thought that Tesla might go out of business one day. In fact, probably 2010, 2011, something like that. I made a prediction in a big family get-together, which I was greatly scoffed over, was that I thought that Tesla would be gone, as far as the company was concerned, by at least 2018. Well, here we are in 2018, and up till the past week or so, Tesla's been chugging along pretty good. Not making any money, but at least still existing, and building some pretty decent automobiles, even though they've had their fair share of troubles with a lot of their stuff. And I really felt that this Model 3 was going to be the big deal breaker for this company. And in fact, they have had nothing but trouble with this brand new Model 3. Seen some stuff about the car, actually build quality being very poorly fit and finish and whatnot. The car is still a pretty good piece, but it still has its issues. Was lucky enough to actually lay eyes on one. One just happened to pass by my office here not too long ago. Was stunned to actually get to see it, because here's the trick. There ain't too many Model 3s out there. Fact is, they only built about 5,000, a little bit over, almost 6 maybe, just in the year of 2017, that is. And the trick is that Tesla and Elon Musk was touting that they were going to be building 5,000 of these machines a week in their factories, but they have yet to do anything of the such. So they're actually going to shut down Model S production and Model X production so everyone can put their full focus on the Model 3, because this may be a make or break situation for the folks over at Tesla, at least in my mind. And then we've heard that their stock prices have been plummeting over the past month's time. So there is looks like somewhat of a point where this company may be at a crossroads of serious crossroads, because it's been a company that has been bleeding capital, talking about over $6,000 an hour this company is costing them to stay afloat. So it'll be interesting to see the next several weeks and months. And even though I don't have a big lot of love for Elon Musk himself, I do like the car company, would love to see it stay around, but it looks like this may be a situation where it may get sold off to another company. I know I'm just talking out of my head, because the trick is that we don't know anything of the such as of yet. Next up on the list, let's talk about the brand new Bullitt Mustang, because we got official pricing from the Ford Motor Company. And there's going to be a fair amount of premium over the standard 5-liter Mustang. In fact, an almost $7,500 premium over that just to get the Bullitt styling. But it does come in at a starting price of $46,595 with another $1,000, little under, for destination fees. That being said, I think I would kick in the extra bucks. If I was in the market to own one of these, to have one of this in that classic green color from the old Bullitt Mustang back in the day, I think I would kick in the money just to have this particular vehicle. Next up on the list, let's talk about this fantastic automobile, because I think this really shows over the past year or so that the economic downturn's finally over for the car companies, at least for the most part, because we're starting to see concept machines that look like concept machines. This coming from the folks over at Genesis. This is actually the Essentia concept. Now, the trick is, this is still a flight of fancy. It's just letting their designers go wild, actually developing this particular machine. And the thing looks the business, too. I mean, it really does look very, very sleek. They're talking about an all-EV platform, 0 to 60 around 3 seconds, but that's pretty much all you know. The trick is this vehicle will never come into existence. This is a real deal concept. You think about over the past several years, since 07, 08, like I said before, a lot of these concept vehicles were basically just, well, they were just production vehicles that they were looking into the future just a couple of years out. This looks like it may be 3 or 4 or 5 years out. So would love to see this machine come into existence, but chances are we will never ever see the light of day in production. Next up on the list, Jaguars kind of at a little bit of a crossroads inside of their group, because, you know, like this vehicle, the F-Type R, well, the trick is it kind of steps on the toes of the SVR version that came not too very long after the F-Type R came into existence. And it's come to a point where Jaguar's like, you know what, the R and the SVR are close to being the same vehicle, so sales are kind of weird between these two vehicles. So they're killing off the R versions of these machines, all Jaguar machines moving forward, and just letting the SVR group, the hot rod group, actually work their magic on these machines moving forward. So I have to say this is kind of a sad thing, but maybe not as sad as you would probably first think. And last up on the list, let's talk about Renault Nissan. Now, Renault Nissan, you probably even think, much like I think, that it's a Renault Nissan alliance, where you kind of thought that these two companies were actually one, but it's just in an alliance group. Actually, Renault owns a piece of Nissan, Nissan owns a piece of Renault, and they kind of work together, even to the point where they actually gobbled up a lot of Mitsubishi over the past year or so. Now the trick is there's talk about a merger between the two automotive giants. But there is a little bit of trick. Obviously, the biggest one is Renault has owned a pretty good chunk by the French government. And are they going to let Nissan get in on that action? At least getting a lot of that sold. This is a pretty interesting situation. I think that this would really be a good group to actually merge completely and get together with. But we'll have to wait and see on this front. And it could be interesting if it gets a whole new name too. So we'll wait and see on all those fronts. We'll definitely keep you tuned to what we hear. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about on this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. And obviously, this is Easter weekend, so I hope everyone has a happy Easter. Gets together with some family and friends and gets to go to church, whatever you like to do on your Easter holiday. And if you've a little bit past Easter, I hope you had a great Easter. Thanks again, and we'll see you real soon.